Hello and welcome to the first crate challenge of the September season. Today I am using an Oxanna deck, mainly because Oxanna boost was my bounty for the day and I just never bothered to change out my commander after the 6 times I used it, I think. But anyway, it seems that every single game was on this specific map, and I freaking hate it because, as you can see with my wheels kind of going round and round, it's difficult to know where you should go because it makes the most sense to send everything to the top pad because it's just that much closer to your spawn point. But the bottom pad is, you can see where it's got the 2 rocks there where you can take a flying unit or jump jets and skirt around without actually being noticed or tipping them off by going over the pads. So it just, that where am I supposed to go in the beginning is going to trip me up the entire time. But speaking of jump jets, you see that they came out with JJTs. I took them down fairly easily, but they were already at a double harvester, so whatever. But for some reason they really want my harvester because, you know, they just fly right on over, and unfortunately they've got snipers and orcas, so that's going to be a very interesting combination for me to combat because the snipers take out my anti-orca unit and then my orca take out my anti-sniper unit. I'm trying to chase him down, take out that orca, boom, boom, boom. It's great, but then they spawn an orca right there, so it was kind of a trade-off. But that stealth tank took down 2 orcas, so in the end, it was a fairly good trade. 100 tib for 140. I just need to keep on doing good trades, and as you can see, I'm doing a fairly good job. Moved it. Just trying to move the chuggy up so that it will be able to take out the sniper, because unloading a full volley of stealth tank missiles at it is kind of a waste. But thankfully I was able to easily take that game. Moving on to round 2, Boss of Duty 220. Interesting name. You know, I'm assuming it's a pun on Call of Duty, but who knows. Anyway, come on back. Move that bar thingy down out of the way. Nope, I'm not going to do it this match. Okay. Anyway, we both open wheels, and we both go for different pads. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, because if they would have gone for the bottom of that instead of the top one there, I would not have seen what the unit was. I just would have known that it was there because that was outside of the 3 range vision for the wheels. But it's okay because I come in with all of my units, take out his wheels. So far he's taken out 1 bike, and I've taken out a wheel and a bike. And then, yes, his their lasers are taking out my bikes, but that's fine. Come in with the chuggy, finish him off, stall, and then start charging on my own. And then just gotta block him, prevent him from getting up there. Yes, my chuggy's taking lots of damage, but it's okay because I managed to secure the bottom pad. Unfortunately, I didn't secure the bottom pad in time to prevent him from just stealing that right out from under me. Oh, that was embarrassing. And then I have no idea what I'm doing with my chuggy, just putting it right in the middle of 2 bike squads. The whole point of chuggy is to hide behind the laser troops, so I need to get the laser troops out first, and then the chuggy can come and take care of the infantry. But then, you know, I send my lasers out and find flamers in the way, and my chuggy is doing literally nothing right now except taking up space. So now we need to take out the flamers before they take out my lasers. Come on, go chuggy, you can do it. And I actually managed to get it out of there in time before the bikes fired, but not the second time because, you know, I wasn't paying attention or something. I have no idea. I had a lot of misclicks in this game, but, you know, losing the first missile makes it interesting, especially if you look at their deck. They've got an avatar that's just waiting to come out, but thankfully, I am making them spend money on other units and don't give them time to save up. And oh, look at this. They put a drill pod right next to my Chuggy. That's smart. Actually, no, it's not. That was sarcasm, by the way. So they figure that now's the time to build a second harvester because we have no idea what's going to happen with the third missile, and they want to get that avatar out. See, they just built their Temple of Nod, and now they just need to triple their Tiberium right now, and if they do, they'll be able to get their avatar out. Man, I cannot think right now. Sorry, I am still working on my first cup of coffee this morning. But thankfully, lasers and Chuggy finally working the way intended. Nope, Chuggy, get out of there, get out of there. Ow, that hurt. Lasers go down, Chuggy go up. There you go. You got it. You can do it. Apparently I can't because they just stalled. Come on, Chuggy. Take it out. Oh no, Avatar, run! Which is funny because when the Avatar comes out, you do not want to run away because otherwise that will allow the Avatar to take the pad. But man, even just like 2 seconds more, if I would have hesitated, they would have taken the win because that Avatar once out is probably unstoppable. And unfortunately, I have no idea what this person's name is except for double Z at the end. So who knows? It is in a language I do not speak. But hey, look at that. I remembered to put the little bar down with all the fast forward rewind stuff, unlike last game. So they open barracks, I open wheels. Finish him. And of course, they're going to open up with lasers second, but that's fine because I've got 2 wheels. And then I just drive right in, take out the 1, and then second wheels, come on down. You're the next Intestinon, blow him up. So far I've taken out 2, well, once I take out, okay, so I've taken out 40 Tiberium worth of units and they've destroyed 20. So, wheel spam versus lasers works very well in the beginning, but then shade is a big problem because I don't have, my anti-air is lasers and stank, I guess wheels or bikes, but not against a shade, especially shade on defense because he just comes in and boom, takes out my vehicles. And he's got a catalyst gunship in addition to the shade, which is interesting. I've honestly not seen that combination before. And unfortunately, this combination seems to be very powerful because my stealth tank gets hit with the EMP and doesn't do anything, misfires on the militants. And so it's pretty much dead weight right now, just taking a pop cap, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to do something with it before it gets blown up, because they've got that one catalyst gunship just sitting there waiting, and I'm just kind of debating whether or not I can do anything against it. Then their obelisk comes out. I'm trying to take out the catalyst gunship without being shot back, and I should have just taken out the obelisk because that's the best thing you can do against an obelisk is shoot it. And I sent infantry up against a catalyst gunship. No idea why. That was dumb of me. The biggest mistake I made in this game is I kept sending out units one at a time, trying to install the pad when I should have waited, built up my troops, and sent them all in together. So my laser troops could go in front, like I'm trying right here. My laser troops go in up front to tank the vehicles and aircraft, and the Chuggy comes in behind to clean up the infantry, but I just don't get the laser troops targeted on the aircraft in time, so they were able to take out my lasers, and this Fnatic squad here was totally a misclick. I was trying to build another laser squad because you need to get those lasers, otherwise that shade is just gonna rain hell on my units, just like it's been doing all game. And trying to take out the obelisk, but I think that was a misclick because I was trying to get it to go after the catalyst gunship. I was able to trade stank for stank. Unfortunately, this was my one loss of the run. So something double Z, GG, well played. You were the only hard competitor that managed to beat me in this run today. Next up, we're fighting some Jackson, which is a mini fortress deck because I got the MLRS and the Juggernaut. So I'm not entirely sure, like MLRS and Juggernaut fulfilled the same type of role, so I think it would have been better to have a non-anti-vehicle unit in there, like a a slingshot or snipers, because apparently like they're multi-range units. But it doesn't matter because they decide that it's more important to try to go for my harvester because, get the harvester, get the win. Notice that they come out with the MLRS. Don't know why I ran away. Should have sent the wheels in to tank for the bikes. Sadly, did not happen. I was debating whether to send my lasers in, but I decided to wait and hold the pad. Take out the pit bull because they have it in for my harvester. They just keep going that direction. Finally making use of my wheels, because wheels versus shocks are pretty good. And then just keep moving my lasers around, trying to draw a bead on the MLRS, get my vehicles out of the way. And, Chuggies coming in to take out their anti-infantry, so my lasers can do their thing. And thankfully, they were very cooperative in that and just letting me chem them to death. And then right here, I kind of make a misclick. See the laser troop on the top? Trying to... Actually, no, this isn't the match. It's a different one. Never mind. So I'm sending in my single unit squads to get some pop cap back because I could really use it. And I was afraid that they were going to get their next tech out before I was able to secure the victory. But thankfully, missile number 2 goes to me. And we move on to the next match. Thunderbeetch. With a misspelling of beach, because that's cool, I guess. Alright, so they open dogs before harvester, and if you open dogs or wheels and head straight for where their harvester is, if they build a unit first, you actually can usually get your scout unit to block their harvester and prevent them from harvesting and getting money for the first little while. So it's not always a bad thing to do, but that's one of the reasons why I've changed to harvester first, because if you build the harvester first, then they can't get anything close to your harvester in time. So a little bit of a misplay here, trying to get the concave against the missile troops, but the missiles managed to get my wheels instead. But that's fine. I've got a Chuggy, and they're kind of walking their units on the same pad, and they've also have an MLRS, which is cool because everyone loves an MLRS apparently. And they decided to not go for my Chuggy the first time, which was smart because the bikes are a little bit more dangerous. But then they tried to get through my laser wall, and I think they boosted one of the MLRSs there. Nope, they didn't. They're Solomon ion cannon. Never mind. And then machine gun. Machine gun MLRS is actually a really good combination because the MLRS can take out, the Chuggy or the infantry units. I'm sorry, the MLRS can take out the Chuggy, whereas the machine gunners can take out the infantry, but Thunderbeetch just sends the machine gunners all the way into the fray and not giving them time to set up. And so, I'm able to easily break their attempted fortress because they never get it set up. So if you are going to do a fortress, move one unit, let it set up, then move the other to support. And that's going to be the best option, because if you have both units moving, then neither of them are in a position to do anything, and they just get chewed apart. In this map, you can see how I went down for the bottom first, and then kind of driving around. I just wanted to make sure that, I'm pointing here on the screen, you can't see it, the 2 rocks at the bottom, that there wasn't like some laser drones or something coming that direction. and I don't like to let them know when I have a second unit, so that's why I'm going up and around. And then at this point I can see that the double harvester, so I'm sending bikes out to see if I can harass a little bit, but they send bikes out of their own, and their bikes are targeting the wheels instead of my bikes. I pull back just in time, so they retarget the wheels, take out the one bike squad without losing anything. And at this point, I've saved up enough money to build a stank, send my bikes up top to support the wheels. And as long as they don't send anything to harass my stank, I'm good. I own the bottom pad. As you can see, they went straight for the top to try to take on that one unit bike squad. And they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to go for his base. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. You keep doing that. I'm just going to build some laser troops. Boom, boom. But unfortunately, then that's when they decide to send out their flames, and I didn't have any pop cap yet, so I have to have everybody run away. And then they bring out flame tank. Check this out. They boost a flame tank, even though they see there's a stealth tank right there. So boosted flame tank goes down in one volley. Like, it took out a laser squad. Okay, congratulations, you killed 20 Tiberium worth of stuff with your 80 cost unit. And I mean, I know why they went down south with their the bottom pad with their cyborgs trying to chase down my stealth tank, but you know, I tanked it with the laser squad and then just used the chuggy to go right through and took him out. Easy peasy. So the question is, who is the weasel? I don't know. This weaselly weasel person. And I kind of wish that I had done the Fog of War on this one. So you can see how there were the two, or how the rifle squad was on the bottom. So I saw that go blue, which is why I redirected my wheels. But if my wheels would have been up top, I wouldn't have seen that it was a rifle squad because it was on the bottom two hexes, and that's beyond the range. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure about that, because 3 range should encompass the entire thing. Anyway, I'm talking nonsense, so let's get back to the game. They've taken out 10 Tiberium worth of units, and I took out 40. I think trading 2 laser squads for 1 wheel is pretty good. I am setting up my mini fortress, getting the laser troops in position to harass any vehicles, and I have my chuggy to take out the infantry. I was having a really hard time selecting, as you can see with everybody dancing around like that. I was having a really tough time selecting the units and telling which one to go where. And thankfully, my chuggy lasted just long enough to launch the missile. They did a really good pop on that turret, but it was about 4 seconds too late. And just like with Obelisk, the best thing you can do to a turret is shoot it so that it just disappears, delete it from the map. Trying to figure out which direction I want to go, and this comes out with just more tanks and more tanks. It's tough for me to get to and figure out what I'm going to do, because Chuggy, wrong direction. Don't. Lasers, go. Chuggy, run. Run, Chuggy. There you go. Good job, pass back. No, not that way. But thankfully, the tanks didn't target the Chuggy as it ran by. I have no idea why I decided to chase down the militant, or not militants, rifle squad. But come on, get the lasers. Block that tank. There you go. Block it. Move the stank in. And then they pop the turret, so my stank spent its entire salvo destroying it. So I do the smart thing and I pull back to avoid it from getting taken out by the tank. And then come in and take out the air. Get back on the pad and secure the victory. So with lasers and stank, tanks aren't a really big threat in my limited experience from that one specific game, but it's happened in other games too, where I've had tanks and I just send a bunch of lasers at it. This one, we're both opening harvesters first. got a little bit of tech and some major air superiority. And it's against decks like this that I kind of wish that I had a Banshee instead of something else, but I don't know what I would swap out for it. Probably the Chuggy, because I have 3 anti-infantry right now. The Chuggy, the Wheels, and the Fanatics, just because I have no aircraft. And so when they come with heavy anti-ground aircraft units, like the Orca and Borka that you see in their deck, it's very difficult for me to deal with it, because all of my units are ground units, and so especially with Borka, they can just delete everything if I'm not microing properly. Come on, get back on the pad. There we go. And then for some reason he runs away. And that's where he flips the missile. That was a brilliant, beautiful play. It did cost him his Orca, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, the first missile for the low cost of 70 Tiberium, not too bad. And so see how the Orca is going down at the bottom past those rocks? That's kind of what I was talking about earlier, that you can just sneak something back there. And look at that, he's going after my Harvester. He must have tech. I say he, but it could be a she, I don't know. I can't even read the name of the Shapoopie, I think. But yeah, so I know there's some sort of tech that they're waiting to get out. Don't quite know what it is because it hasn't come out yet, but look at that, they put their Orca going right through my lasers, which, you know, I can't really blame them because I've made that mistake with my Chuggy putting it on the wrong side of my laser wall. But I was able to utilize superior tactics and boom, 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 and secure the second missile. Okay, so notice that lone laser trooper on the top. I'm trying to send him over to where their Harvester was. And speaking of Harvester, look at this, 1, 2, 3. I don't get the 4 shot off, and I would have gotten Harvester had I managed to get it, but I didn't, sadly. And this Sandstorm is problematic because as I'm raiding through my laser troops, it still shoots at the Chuggy. But at this point, I've noticed that they're mainly air and anti-vehicle vehicles, so it's time to start pumping out laser troops like there's no tomorrow. And oh look, we've got a Juggernaut. So for that, I decided instead of more laser troops, I'm gonna build stealth tank, which is fine because they decided to bomb their Juggernaut. Not sure why I opted for another stealth tank at this point, but I did, and I got the missile, so it doesn't really matter. It would have been better to do more lasers, but I still won, so that's really all that matters. So thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come visit us on Discord.